Hello, everybody. Hope your Wednesday is going good. Um, my name is Bill, and this is Billboard Comics. Welcome to another edition of Growing Up Comics. This is the segment where I reminisce about my days as a comic book collector, staying back from a lowly, prepubescent comic book reader right up to the present day, a mangy old man with cracking joints and sciatica and all kinds of ailments, uh, who's still collecting comic books. Um, this time I'm going to say something that is going to cover a topic that's uh, not really a happy one for me, basically. And I'm sure it happens today. So I figure I'll put out that's just like put it out there as maybe as a learning experience to somebody or an educational experience there. Um, this is the going back to the day I got scammed. And everybody gets scammed. Scams get scammed as an adult. So sometimes they like you have the whole like like hey, I have this timeshare that's really great. Why don't you come in on this? Hey, this product is guaranteed to cure your arthritis. You just take it 5 times a day. It costs $200 a pill, but it'll help you. Don't worry about it. Just give me the money. This happens all the time. So there's no shame in being scammed. But when I got scammed, I was a kid. I think I was a young kid. I think it was like right at the cusp of my starting being a collector. I think it was probably like 1982 of that. My parents were big about going to um, like flea markets. Flea markets were big in my area, northeastern Pennsylvania back then. You could just like usually any weekend you get like three or four going on at a time, and you could like do a tour of them and like okay, this one doesn't have anything. Let's go to the next one. Okay, we'll go to the next one. We'll go to the next one. And every so often they'd have comic books there. Like this is like back before I realized there was a comic book store. Um, there wasn't really a lot of comic book stores back then. So if you wanted any kind of issues that happened before you, you'd have to go there and buy them there. So I would go there and every so often like look through the comic books and stuff like this. Um, my dad hanging out every so often. And one time I was going through there, this guy came up to me, and I don't remember what he looks like, but he seems to be like in my mind. Maybe this is because like I have such a negative experience to him, and no offense to either of these men I compare him to. He looked kind of like what would happen if Jason Alexander and Elvis Presley had a baby. Of course, back then only one of those in the public like knowledge. This is me looking back on that to give you an example of what the guy looked like. Um, and so just like do that, like kind of like like give you an idea what this guy looked like. So I'm there going through the comic books, and he started a conversation. He goes to comic books. He goes like this, yeah, you have any comics? Yeah, I have a lot of comic books and stuff like this. Do you like comic books? Like getting new comics? Yeah. Have you ever tried trading comic books? No, sir. No, I didn't. Um, Now the way this story is saying, we probably think it's going to be an entirely different, really, really worse story than it was. My dad was there. He's keeping an eye on it. My dad was like really, 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 yeah, yeah. He wouldn't let any that kind of BS go down. Uh, but I digress. Yeah, I said, well, maybe we can come up and trade some stuff. Yeah, that'd be great. I'll get my stuff and I can show you my comic books. I didn't have a lot of comic books. So I think all my comic books I had, I brought out to show him that they came to our trailer. He came in. He was there. I think my mom didn't have anything to do with it. She went to the back. My dad was kind of like hanging out in the other room, just listening. And he brought over some comic books, and I remember like um, he took a whole bunch of comic books from me, and he gave me stuff back, and it it's okay. So one thing I know for sure that I had in this stack is I think, and I mentioned this back in like my X Men video, how I became a fan of the X Men. It was a X Men 118, which is like you know the first appearance of Maroko and stuff like this. I didn't know at the time. Probably it didn't come out. It only came out like a couple like years before, so it wasn't really, that big. But it's still pretty big, expensive stuff. I got like like a bag. This one I kept through. So he took that and he gave me in exchange for it, a copy of like Plastic Man from when it's 1970s. Uh, rejigger, like a reboot. I remember it had a yellow thing. I, I, I don't know what happened to the comic book. I don't know if like I traded it away too, or got rid of it or whatever. I don't have it anymore, unless like I just like it, like maybe it's just too painful and just got rid of it. But if you look at those values, even back then, the values that were equivalent, and I kind of figured that, and I was like going through it, um, and like like I don't know, maybe I'll keep this. Listen, Plastic Man is one of the best characters ever. He is. He's one of my favorite characters. Um, yeah, and this is a guy who goes all about the Golden Age, his history and stuff like this. This is a great book I'm giving you. It's like I won't give you a bad book or anything like that. Says okay, and then he went through all my collection. He took off like most of my best comic books. Um, like I think like the first comic book I ever got was a detective issue like from 1977. He took that. He took a whole bunch of it and he gave me like stuff in return, like a coverless version of like Frank Miller Daredevil, which is a good read, but not really collectible. He kind of like just mined my collection right in front of me, and I didn't know any better. I was a stupid like 11-year-old kid, and he just stole from me. He just took all the stuff away and stole from me. I didn't know any different. And he goes, "Okay, thank you. Maybe we could do this again." So I'm like, "Yeah, maybe I'll be in touch, sure." And I left. And my father's looking over there, and like he comes over and he says to me, "Hey, um, so how'd it go?" And I was like almost crying. Like I think he scammed me. And he goes to me, "Yeah, I think he did too." Um, yeah, my dad was enough to pick up on this stuff more than I was, but he didn't step into it. He goes like I go like, why did you step? Why did you tell me? Why didn't you stop it? And there he goes like, listen, buddy, this is something you need to learn for yourself. There are going to be a lot of people, not just in comic books or all sorts of life, that are going to try to take advantage of you, and you know you have to learn how it feels to learn how to avoid it. Um, you know, it didn't really work. I'm not really one to be taking on scams, but like I did one time. I got like this guy was trying to like do auctions and bids for like hey, you put the right amount in and you'll get a gold chain. Oh no, you got put the wrong bid and you got like a clock radio, and yeah, that was one of my big scams that I got taken for, um, and I could kick myself for it. But I'm usually like from this day on, I'm like a little bit hesitant. Like something sounds too good to be true, uh, it is, and I try to stay away from it. However, on the other hand, it makes me like hesitant to haggle or try to like bring a price down with somebody or try to negotiate a bundle deal or whatever. Usually, I go in there and usually my wife is better at it. My wife lived in New York all the time, and it's a culture up here to be able to just do. They have like a whole. It's like a dance. It's like a ballet thing where everybody has their own choreography going in there, and they do the same steps done every time, and they know where they're going to end up at the end when the music's over. But they still go through the dance anyway, even though like probably quicker just to go to the get the final prize. She's much better than I am. That's why I used to like to go with her to comic book conventions because she usually does the haggling for me. But for me, in my mind, haggling is puts me in the position of the guy who ripped me off back when I was 11. Um, and like it's a psychosomatic kind of thing. I should probably see a therapist about it. I should probably see a therapist about a lot of things. But the fact is, it puts me in like I don't want to be the person who is going to be that kind of person to take something he not pay good value for what the person that wants for it or deserves for it asks for it. You know, um, as I start getting like cheaper comic books, I'm starting to get a little better with it. At least I ask and stuff like this and see like there's anything like we could go down on it, like get down on it, like get the price down and stuff like that. But still, it's like that's why I kind of like stay away from getting like the big collections that you might find on uh, like Facebook Marketplace and all that jazz. Um, yeah, so it's like kind of because like I don't know, like these people are first of all like this is going to be a topic for another video at another time. Um, uh, but it's like kind of like you know like they're offering 5,000 books for $10,000, and they only show pictures of the boxes, and you have no idea what to do that. So like they're kind of like trying to play the system on their end too. But I don't want somebody who's like just trying to sell their dead father's collection, and I'll give you 10 cents on the dollar for it, which a lot of people that's their price for buying bulk back issues. but I still feel guilty because, like, okay, well, you know, this is not very respectful to them. I just feel like I'm cheating them, even though, like, you know, I would probably have no place for them. I would have to sell them myself. I have to figure out how to sell them, and it would cost me money to do that. So it'd probably, you know, that's the price I could probably be more in at that price or whatever. Not that I give much thought. I'm not really into. I'm not a flipper, not a reseller yet. Although, if you see on my haul videos, you see I get a lot of duplicates. So I have to maybe try to work to try to get rid of those somehow, some way, at some point. Um, but yeah, so so that kind of that kind of scarring back there is an early day kind of like scarred me when it comes to comic books and how to like, you know, usually like I go there if I buy stuff, it doesn't really affect me that much because if you buy enough stuff off a vendor, they'll cut you a break. They'll give you a discount. If you're a certain kind of store, they'll give you like an extra 10% off or an extra couple of dollars off because they know you and they respect your business and your patronage and stuff like this. So I don't have to really haggle in most cases. But yeah, I just feel uncomfortable whenever I have to do that because I just put myself back in the shoes of the guy who came into my house. He saw like a little 11-year kid and saw a whole bunch of really great comic books and took them off him and gave him crap and like you know left me the poorer for it, literally and figuratively. So like but it's my thing to if you want. I usually like I'm trying to teach lessons with the Girlfriend's Guide to Comic Books, not this one, but if I could have a lesson to pass on for this one is especially young kids. Um, you know, homework sucks, kids. We all know that. Um, I mean, not really. Some homework is really kind of cool. I mean, if you get your homework is to build a volcano that explodes all over the place, that's really pretty cool. But you know what I mean? Like nobody really wants to do work outside of where they have to do work. But if you're going to be a serious comic book collector and want to like make sure you have everything, make sure you do like your homework in that aspect. Make sure you know what you have, the value of what you have, and never be afraid to stick up to keep the books that you want, or to get rid of them for the price that you want them for, or the trade that you want them for. Um, you know, that would be my advice to the young collectors out there. Probably goes well as well for the older collectors too. Just you have the right to say no. It is your collection. If they want it, you know, and if they're worth their salt, they'll either kind of counter offer, or they'll leave friends, and you'll have nothing to worry about. So, all right, um, okay, so that'll be it for this installment. If you liked it, put a thumbs up. If you have any questions, if you want to go into deep detail about me being cheated as a young kid, put them in the comments, and I will try to answer them the best I can. And if you have any suggestions for this, anything you might want to know about, like how the world of comic book collecting was in the mid to late 70s to today, uh, and how it's different from like 2025, put it in the comment section. If you like this kind of things, you want to see more of them, there's a subscribe button. You could do that, check that out. Or if you just want to see all the stuff I have there at the end of the thing, you're going to see, it might be up here now, the subscribe button, the last video in this series, and the list of all the features. So yeah, so you can go check that out. But I hope to see you again. Thank you for spending some time with me, and keep on collecting.